Welcome, my peeps, my peoples. Please like, comment, subscribe, share the video. It'd be greatly appreciated. It's Mary Jane. Let's talk about Marriage Boot Camp Reality TV Star Season 11, Episode 8. Ice, baby. The Ice Bucket Challenge. This was crazy. I mean, you really got to see Audrey, really, lose her shit, and Kim lose her shit, too, as well. Kim just freaked out after the Ice Bucket Challenge. And it's just like, Audrey, if you're so upset, you're so mad, you're so hurt, why do you stay with Paulie? Why do you continue to go through this cycle? I know she has abandonment issues, but damn, it's like you don't see nothing good in him. It's like you like nothing about Paulie. I guess it's just to say that you're in a relationship. And Chris and Desiree is just like Desiree cannot speak up. She cannot be herself. She doesn't have a voice. It's like Chris absolutely control her. She can't say like she wants this. She wants to talk dirty. She wants a little bit more. She wants some more affection, some more attention. She wants to feel, connected to her husband, be able to express herself. And she's not able to. He's not trying to hear it. And Mama D said that she's not going to drink today and on this challenge. So she's not drinking. They need to hide the alcohol for real, for real. And so we have that situation. We got Wen. It doesn't seem like Wen even cares about Kim or want to be with Kim. And it seems like Kim is not ready to be with anybody because she has her own personal issues with Lost. And I don't think Wen is the type of guy to support her and help her through her trials and tribulations, dealing with grief and, dealing with her kids too as well and dealing with death. I'm just like, what is really going on? It seems like right now Puma and Kwani are almost, they're doing so far, they're doing so good. They're doing like okay with the situation where they're both supporting each other. And it seems like Puma and Kwani are growing. He's listening to her more and she's listening to him more. And it seems like they're really trying to work on it too as well. And Mama D and Ernest, I couldn't believe Mama D was like, this is the first time I had a conversation with Ernest's mother. Last episode, like, you've been with Ernest for all these years. You put him behind bars. He goes to his mother's house 7 days a week and you have not talked to his mother. You haven't had a conversation. What's wrong with that shit? What's wrong with that picture? This man is a part of your life and the whole night. And you guys are not even having a conversation. You guys are not even talking. You're not talking to his mother or anything like that. It just seems like that seems totally weird. Like, it doesn't make any sense. But they get along now, and basically Ernest is not supposed to be running back and forth with his mother. So Ernest and Mama D has reached a threshold where they're able to communicate with each other without Ernest supposed to run back to his mother. And Mama D feels okay with Ernest's mother too, as well as having that conversation. They compliment Ernest's mother. All the rest of the cast member, they said she looked like his sister. She's so pretty or whatever. I was like, oh shit, there they go. And then everyone's sitting at the table, like they lag, they're having a good time. They're talking. And, Chris said, he apologized. He goes, oh, you guys told so many horrible stories that happened to you about your childhood that affects your future. And I just couldn't come up with anything. And then he starts to cry. And Puma was like, I can't trust you. I don't believe you. It doesn't seem real. And Ernest was like, it's totally bullshit. You're not stepping up. So Chris felt like he's not stepping up and the pressure's on him. So that's why he started to cry a little bit and say, hey, listen, I felt so much compassion, so much pain for you. When believes Chris, like when it's like, oh, I see why you're tearing up, it's because of our situation. So Wen and Kim, I don't know what's gonna happen with that situation. And so that situation is very, very crazy. This doesn't seem like there's any love there. And so right now they're all in the living room and they're having a conversation and they're actually talking and they're talking about past relationships. And Mama D's talking about, take your time to get to know somebody. Don't have sex with them right away, because then you can see the signs where, you could tell if it's a good match or not. And she's absolutely right about that, because if you take time to get to know somebody, you'll know, their quirks, you'll know how they are, you'll know if they're crazy, you'll know if they're a stalker, you know if they mean you good or they mean you harm. So don't rush into it. So we have that situation. Then we also, and they ask questions about what do you regret in your last relationship. And so, Desiree, she was just saying that, she spent so much on her high school sweetheart. She wished she didn't do that, but she did. So that was cool. That was a nice conversation too as well. And that's when, Audrey, she jumps in and she says, I regret, like leaving my house for a relationship, leaving my best friend for a relationship when I wasn't strong enough to stick up for myself, and actually remaining in my house and keeping my best friend. And it was like, oh, what relationship is this? She was like, my current relationship. So she's like, damn, she just threw the dagger at Paulie. It's like she's always throwing daggers at him. And plus, Puma was like, I was talking about past relationships. I wasn't talking about future relationships. Kwani's like, there she goes, throwing a wrench in the situation. So I'm just like, they're just going, it's like, Audrey, like, why would you give up your house? Why would you give up your best friend? Like, especially if you don't think this relationship is working, and you don't think that, you don't think Paulie listens to you. You say he watches you cry. He doesn't, comfort you, and he's always out. You believe he's cheating all the time. Why would you leave the security of your home to move, with Paulie, where he throws you out or he leaves you there? It doesn't make any sense. And it doesn't seem like she's happy at all. She's miserable. And it just seems like she wants to make Paulie miserable too as well. She wants him to feel some type of pain, but she wants him to feel her pain, but her pain comes from her childhood, and he can't, take on her pain. He don't understand her pain and where she's coming from. And like Paulie was saying that, like, she's not getting any help. Only thing she's doing is giving advice and just talking about woe is me, woe is me. And it's not like she's learning. Like, she hasn't really been nice to Paulie at all. Here or there, she's nice to him. They did kiss a little bit. So it just seems like, that relationship is just totally off. So everybody was like, yo, I can't believe she went there. And they're also giving, Wen advice, to rub Kim's feet, and maybe he can get some punani, because they haven't even had sex. And you would think they would have sex already because they're older and they've been around the world 1,000 times. He's 69 and I believe Kim is like in her 50s or something. So, and they know each other for a long time, but I guess it is what it is with that situation. It just seems weird. Like, he's attracted to young girls and beauty queens and all this other stuff, and that's not his idea. He's trying to change that, but it seems like he's gonna go back to normal. And he just look at Kim as someone that comforts him and makes him feel better about himself. That's what it seemed like Wen is. And Kim is she just needs some affections and some attention, and she's not getting that from Wen. So we move on to the challenge. So basically, Dr. Ish and Dr. V call the guys and the girls, and Paulie, Chris, Mama D, and Ernest to actually, and Wen, to actually, do a challenge. They can either take this challenge or pass the challenge on to their partner. They're not allowed to say anything about the challenge, so they don't know what challenge that they're going to be getting into, but they all chose to go into the ice bucket challenge, the ice tub challenge, but Wen decided not to. Even Mama D decided to go in for Ernest, and Wen decided not to go in for Kim, because he said he feels like it'll be questions, and he wanted her to answer some questions. It seems like he just really didn't care whether she went in or not. Like, it wasn't a big deal to him. It wasn't like he was like her shining armor. He wanted to protect her, and that's how Kim felt, that he's not there to protect her, and she needs some protection because she had a fiance that was killed on the phone when she was talking to him. So she does have issues with protection and someone actually sticking their neck out for her, and he actually didn't, but she doesn't know this yet. So now Paulie said he's going to do it regardless, because he wants to show, Audrey, that he cares, and he's trying to do this for her. But even though if he chose her, she's still going to not be happy. And she still wasn't happy whether he chose the challenge to do it or not. She still, she still wasn't happy, but I know she was glad she wasn't in that ice bucket. And I couldn't believe Mama D got in there, and Kim got in there too as well, because, Wen chose her to go in there, and she was like, the worst thing in the world is to be cold. And he was like, I feel bad. It's like, why didn't he step up that moment and say, I want to do it? Because we have seen it done before with Renee and her sisters. So he didn't step in. So they get into this bucket of cold water, metal bucket. It had to be cold. And then they add ice after each question. So it was just like, and Kwani was very compassionate towards Puma. Like, she was like, I'm sorry, baby. She was rubbing his head. She was trying to really help him with the situation. Ernest wasn't so much, comforting Mama D. Desiree, she was actually comforting, Chris, and was feeling bad for him and all this other stuff. Audrey wasn't really comforting Paulie D at all. They was just, she was like, whatever. She wasn't saying sorry. She was just standing like, damn, this is just a challenge. And so, what can I say worse? So the question was, I feel blank when you do this. I feel alone when you do this. And so, it was so funny when, Ernest was like, "Did you pick the wrong time to stop drinking it?" And Mama D was like, "Yeah," but he was a little bit comforting to her. He was like, I'm glad I'm not in, the ice bucket." He was like, "Damn." So it was just like, it was crazy. That Mama D really got in, and we know she got in that bucket of ice water when she just had surgery recently. So that was like kind of crazy. So, Kwame, her question, she said, "I feel alone when you get angry." So she said that to Puma, "You make me feel alone when I get angry." When you get angry, so because she feels like she can't talk to him when he gets angry, because Puma's not gonna let you get a word in. He's gonna keep talking, and he's gonna keep changing the subject where you never get to the bottom line of the question. And so you got when you run away, I feel angry. So Kwani, instead of dealing with the conversation with Puma, she will run away or find something else to do because she don't want to be confronted. So basically, they have to learn how to communicate to each other and talk to each other. And Kwame can't fear or be insecure and run from Puma, and Puma has to actually listen to what Kwame says and pay attention, and not just regurgitate it and spit it out towards her and then add on another problem. So we have Desiree. She says she feels alone when Chris is stressed. And so imagine how Chris is when he's stressed and she feels alone. She probably feels scary and nervous because he probably doesn't say anything. He probably slams stuff. He probably mumbles under his breath. He probably really create an intense environment because he's not good at expressing himself or telling people how he feels. He likes to bottle everything up and not express himself at all. So that must be a weird situation when they're at home. And Chris says he feels alone when Desiree's quiet because she won't respond and she won't say anything back, because it seems like she's fearful to say anything back to Chris if it's not something that he would like or he would appreciate. So it just seems like she's nervous and she just stays quiet, and that stresses him out even more. So they have to work on their communication and opening up to each other. It's like, damn, you guys are married and got kids and you can't even have a conversation. What the hell is going on? And Audrey, she says she feels alone when Paulie takes off because Paulie leaves her ass, because who the hell is going to be listening to Audrey argue around in circles and circles and circles over and over? So that's not a good situation. And so, Paulie says he feels alone. Paulie says he feels alone when he's attacked, and she's always attacking him. Like, we saw her attack him twice this episode, just yelling at him and just basically saying that he's not doing what he's supposed to do. He's not taking charge. He's not the leader, and her character is being assassinated. And she just feels basically like she's not even in a relationship. It's just crazy. Why is she there? She needs to just leave Paulie and I guess go back to therapy. And so Mama D says she feels alone when Ernest goes to his mother's house 7 days a week. Why the hell is he going to his mother's house 7 days a week? But you know what? He got his mother and he's probably, just there chilling. I have no idea why he's at his mother's house 7 days a week. His mother must cook some good food. She does his laundry. She does everything that D won't do for him. So that's why he's there. So D, you're going to have to start cooking and doing his laundry and treating him like a king. If not, he's going to run home to Mama, even though Mama used to abuse him and say he's going to be just like his father. So he's leaving one. So I guess his relationship with his mother is a lot better. So he feels safer with his mother than he does with D. So, and plus D drinking, because he says D is a totally different person when she's drink. She's more talkative and she's more out there. Ernest says, I feel alone when you drink, because he can't conversate with her. He can't talk. She's loud, you can't really have a conversation with someone that is drunk. So he feels that way. And Kim says she feels alone when Wen yells at her and it hurts her. So I can't. Wen is yelling at you. Could you imagine him on the phone Kim, blah, blah, blah. Why is he yelling at her? Come on, he's 69 years old. He should not be yelling at nobody. He should know how to have a conversation. But we know he don't, because of his childhood, how his father treated women. He only treated women like objects. He's kind of treating Kim like an object too as well. So I was like, damn. And so then the other question is, I feel like you're not trying. And it was Audrey. She was like, I feel like you're not trying, Paulie. When there's distance between us, you don't lead, you don't take the role, you don't do anything. You're not there. It's we don't speak, we don't talk. And I feel like you're not trying, when I actually need you or whatever. And Paulie was like, I feel like you're not trying. What did Paulie say? Paulie said, I feel like you're not trying when you're attacking me, I guess. He's always feeling attacked. And then Desiree, she says she feels like that Chris is not trying when they have distance between them. Like when there's distance, when they're not talking, and that really is like two strangers living in a house basically. And when there's a distance and he doesn't try, she feels like he's not trying. And Chris says he feels like, Desiree's not trying when she doesn't take advice. So it's like, it's his way or the highway. Like the first thing is, I feel like you're not trying when you don't take my advice, you don't listen to me. Just like he called Judge Tola a girl. So it's like he absolutely wants control, and that's why there's a distance. She doesn't want to say anything because she doesn't want to get on your bad side. And we got Mama D. She says she feels when she's being verbally abused by Ernest, she feels like he's not trying. I was like, damn, Ernest, you be abusing Mama D verbally, and she be beating you physically because she done hit you a couple of times. Okay, you guys got a whole rocky relationship. It's just crazy. He feels like you're not trying. Ernest says, I feel like you're not trying. I don't know. It's just like crazy. Ernest is like, I feel like you're not trying when you quit. So, when Mama D quits, when she says, I don't want to be bothered, I'm not going to do this. And you can definitely picture Mama D just quitting. So I don't want to talk about it. It's done. So he feels like when Mama D quits something, when she starts something and she doesn't finish it, or she quit in a relationship and takes off just like Ernest does, he feels like she's not trying. And then you got Kim. She feels like, Wayne is not trying when he's joking all the time because he's not taking things serious. He's not taking a relationship serious. And you think he will be more established because he's older. And basically, Wayne said, I feel like you're not trying when you tell me that you're depressed. And she's like, what do you mean depressed? I've never told you I was depressed. What the hell are you talking about? I never said that. So she's getting upset. She's getting mad. She don't want to deal with this shit no more. And then they're putting more ice inside the tub that they're in. So she absolutely gets out the bucket. She stayed for like 31 or 32 minutes. The other people stayed for 37 minutes. And she was just arguing. She was like, it doesn't make any sense. He's lying because I never told him that. So is she confused because of the coldness, or she's really upset because Wynn is making up stuff like because he doesn't fucking know? I'm like, oh my God, this is crazy. And so she gets out, and then everybody else is allowed to get out the bucket. I was just like, And so, Kim, she really has an episode. She breaks down. She's like, she's cold. She's running around the house. She's telling the cameras to get away from her. She says she's feeling scared. She doesn't feel safe. It's like she's totally having a meltdown with the situation. And then, Audrey, she's doing her thing. She's yelling. She's yelling at, she feels like, Paulie, everybody is supporting Paulie. People are not supporting her. And basically, she feels like, that Paulie is not doing what he's supposed to do. But at least Audrey had the blow dry and she was trying to, dry Paulie off or whatever. And he showed his tramp stamp. I was like, what is really going on? Like, yes. So she was helping him out with that situation. Now they know that there's another challenge and whoever can pick their partner to take the challenge. And basically Chris said he was going to stand up and he was going to take the challenge for Desiree. Then that's when all the other guys wanted to step in because it was a macho thing, because Ernest at first was going to have, Mama D go in. And I think Puma and Kwame agreed that Kwame was going to go in. And Paulie and Audrey said it could be 50-50. And when they found out that Wen chose... there was like when they found out that when chose Kim to go in the ice bucket, that was like, that's so wrong and terrible. Yes, it is. But think about it, he's old too. He's 69, and it looks like his bones would have shattered because Paulie was like his bones was shattered. So now once Kim finds out, she feels like she was thrown under the bus. She feels like, Wynn is selfish, that he's not there to protect her. And she's just really upset that, he threw her under the bus when he could have actually took the challenge and he's not sacrificing anything for the relationship. So that's the problem with the situation. I was like, whoa. And so then now we have them going outside and walking on the pit, the coals and stuff like that. So I'm thinking it's really hot. All the guys decide to go and walk on a coal, and guess what? The coals are not hot. It was just encouraged to see were they actually going to do it. So they actually did step on the coals. I was like, they're really going to do that? But I'm glad that it is fake, because I don't know how Ernest or Win would have made it out that situation. Then they had their feet in bucket of water and they're gonna get on the cold. The cold was not even hot, but now Kim feels a certain type of way that she got into the ice bucket and she did a challenge and it was torturing to her. And then this challenge, there is no torture. And Win is trying to say that, he didn't know, he thought it was gonna be questions. We got Judge Tola, she comes out and she was just like, Audrey, you need to change. Like, Audrey, like, you have not been working on yourself at all. All you're doing is giving advice. And Paulie is trying to help and trying to change. And he's following his direction. Mama D needs to stop drinking and everything will be all right. And Chris and Desiree need to express themselves and talk and win. And he has to protect her. She doesn't feel protected. She doesn't feel appreciated because you threw her under the bus. I was just like, And so now when he gets the punishment, he gets to be in a bunny suit. And then, Judge Tola gives Desiree the megaphone for her to talk, to give her a voice. So it helps her speak and give her a voice to talk. And she's like telling when to jump, when put on the bunny suit. So I was just like, what is really going on? And I was like, oh man. And then Audrey, she gets upset and she gets mad. And it's just like, Audrey, come on. Audrey, like, after that, Audrey gets upset. She gets mad. She said her character is being assassinated and all this other stuff. And she's just, like, really pissed about the situation. I was just like, damn. Like, what's really going on? Like, she's arguing with Paulie. She's telling Paulie that her character has been assassinated, and she didn't come here for this. And everyone thinks that he's innocent. And she said she did everything she's supposed to for her career. So she's more focusing on how she looks. And she's really upset that people are not sympathizing with her and taking her side. So it's all about how many people can she get on her side to support her. It's not about the relationship. It's not about fixing the relationship. She's worried about her character assassination. And so was Paulie D at first. He was worried about him looking bad because, she was saying that he would kick her out. She'll be crying uncontrollably and he wouldn't support her. He would take off. And he felt like his character was being assassinated, but he kept going through it and he came back. But she was like, I don't care if you came back. You always leave. And it's just like she's not giving him any appreciation for actually being there, coming back and actually participating in the exercise, because we have Chris. He's not even participating in the exercises. He's lying. He's not talking about his childhood. He's not really expressing himself. Even with the questions, the one question, oh, I feel upset when you don't take my advice. And so Paulie's actually trying to work to see if there's something that he can change, because Paulie's never been in a serious relationship. And it doesn't seem like Audrey gets it. She thinks that, Paulie should already have the answers, should already know, and he should listen to her. And if he did listen to her and do everything that she said, I believe that she'll still be upset because she's still living in pain from the past. And she likes, she doesn't like it, but she doesn't know any other way but to be in a painful relationship or be like feeling like she's abandoned, like she's always the victim 24/7. So that's crazy. And then Mama D says she doesn't feel she doesn't feel like Ernest is trying when he doesn't want to have sex with her. And that's hard too, to swallow, that your husband is not wanting to have sex with you or please you. That's like, damn, like that, it's just like, whoa, like what's really going on? But it's probably because she was drinking and cussed him out and was acting a plumb fool that he does not want to have sex with her. So we'll see what happens. These couples, so far it seems like Kwame and Puma got the most stable type of relationship where they're really working. And Chris and Desiree, it seems like their relationship is very stable too as well. But the problem is they're not growing together, they're growing apart, and she's not able to express how she feels to Chris. And Chris wants everything to be straight. He wants everything to look perfect. He wants a perfect book. He wants the perfect marriage. He wants the perfect everything. And if Desiree, if she steps out of that, that perfect line, then there's a problem. Peace. I'm out. One love. Oh, and Win apologized, and so he got to take off the bunny suit. Peace. I'm out.